For years, Labour wrapped itself in the language of compassion. Mental health awareness. For years, Labour wrapped itself in the language of compassion. Mental health awareness, respect, decency in politics, that was the brand. That was the message coming out of Downing Street every single week. And then Gold Turner stood up inside Parliament and accused Keir Starmer's operation of doing the exact opposite behind closed doors. Not over policy, not over elections, over mental health smears tied to the loss of his own nephew. The chamber went silent. Starmer tried to contain the damage, but by then, the accusation was already live in front of the entire country. Watch what happened.
So during Mental Health Awareness Week, while ministers spoke with compassion about health and well-being,
what do you think about this debate? Drop your opinion in the comments below and join the discussion on what really happened here.
the Prime Minister reflects on those hostile, discriminatory briefings which he knew about and he allowed to happen.
And the impact that had on him. I totally understand that, and I want to be absolutely clear that nobody should be smeared in relation to mental health, nobody on any issue, whatever they may argue on any other issue, nobody, and I will do everything I can to make sure that that is the position.
Gold Turner just sent shockwaves through Parliament and completely blindsided Keir Starmer live on camera. What began as a routine exchange instantly turned into one of the most uncomfortable and explosive moments Labour has faced in weeks. The entire chamber changed the second Turner accused people inside Downing Street of spreading hostile mental health smears against him after he opposed the government's position on single-judge trials. And the moment he directly linked those attacks to the tragic loss of his nephew Matty, you could feel the atmosphere collapse in real time. This was no longer politics as usual. This stopped being a standard PMQ's clash. The second Turner openly accused the operation around Starmer of preaching compassion publicly while allegedly allowing personal attacks behind the scenes. And the reaction inside the chamber said everything. MPs were visibly stunned. Even the chief whip appeared uncomfortable while Turner called out what he claimed had been happening behind closed doors in Number 10. And then came the moment that really changed everything. Turner did not sound like a politician trying to score points. He sounded genuinely furious. He reminded Parliament that his nephew took his own life because of work-related stress as a young criminal lawyer, then directly challenged Starmer during Mental Health Awareness Week over whether he had reflected on the alleged smears and hostile briefings allowed to circulate against him. That instantly transformed the exchange from political drama into something deeply personal and emotionally charged. Keir Starmer's response was incredibly cautious, and honestly, you could see why. The Prime Minister immediately tried to lower the temperature, thanking Turner for previously speaking to him about Matty and repeatedly insisting that nobody should be smeared over mental health issues. But watch carefully what happened next, because this is the part people online are focusing on. Starmer condemned smears in general terms, yet he never directly denied Turner's central accusation that hostile briefings came from figures around Downing Street. Instead of confronting the allegation head-on, he shifted into controlled damage limitation mode, trying to calm the chamber before the situation spiraled even further. And that is exactly why this moment is exploding politically right now, because critics are already saying the exchange exposed a massive contradiction inside Labour's messaging machine. On one side, the party presents itself as compassionate, modern, and deeply focused on mental health awareness. But on the other side, one of their own suspended MPs just stood up in Parliament and accused people connected to Starmer's operation of enabling deeply personal attacks linked to mental health. That is not a small accusation. That is the kind of claim that instantly creates headlines, internal panic, and serious questions about what is really happening behind the scenes. What made the entire moment even more dramatic was how direct Turner was. He did not soften his language. He openly said Starmer knew about it and allowed it to happen. Those are explosive words to throw at a sitting prime minister in front of the entire House of Commons. And while Starmer remained controlled on the surface, many viewers online are already saying the prime minister looked visibly uncomfortable the longer the exchange continued. Because once the conversation shifted toward mental health and personal tragedy, there was no easy political escape route anymore. And this is where the situation becomes genuinely dangerous for Labour politically. Internal rebellions are already difficult enough for any government or party leadership to manage. But when those rebellions become emotional, personal, and tied to accusations of hypocrisy surrounding mental health, the damage becomes far harder to contain. This was not simply an MP disagreeing with party policy. This was a suspended Labour figure publicly accusing the leadership culture around Starmer of crossing a moral line. Now the clip is spreading everywhere online because people are debating the exact same question. Was this an honest emotional confrontation exposing Labour's internal culture? Or was it a calculated political ambush designed to put Starmer under maximum pressure live in Parliament? Either way, one thing is absolutely clear. Gold Turner just forced Downing Street into a conversation they definitely did not want to have in public.